So, so I'm gonna talk about Moon and Leo because it was a request, and it's also my moon sign. So hopefully, I know about it. I'm probably gonna be really honest because I've definitely learned um, a lot about it in my own life and kind of some of the really annoying shit that I do um, emotionally or whatever. So yeah, just quickly before I get into the video, I just wanted to bring up two things that I'm doing. One is that I'm offering birth chart interpretations, just email me. And two, I'm doing a monthly forecast project where I've created on a Word document a calendar with all the aspects and when all the planets are going to be shifting. And then I go through on a weekly basis, like everything that's happening that week, all the planets that shift, all the aspects that are happening, and kind of what you can expect to experience on that day, so you can kind of align your life a little bit better to the stars and stuff like that. So I'll put those links in the description. Yeah, this is a really funny moon sign because the moon is really shy and Leo isn't. So you're gonna be an introvert and an extrovert at the same time. What I mean by that is that you really enjoy being extroverted when you're introverted and introverted when you're extroverted. To break that down even more, if you're in a big group of people, you enjoy it if you get to kind of stay in the back. If you are at the center of the party or the attention of what's going on, you might freak out. You can adapt to it, but you prefer kind of like doing your own thing, but while you're surrounded by people. And similarly, when you're alone, you probably really act out and are performative and more dramatic and stuff like that because you don't have the pressure of an audience. And Leo Moon doesn't exactly want an audience. It wants recognition, right? And it wants attention, and it needs emotional attention. It needs someone to care about how it's feeling. That's really important for this moon sign. So it's not necessarily that they don't want an audience, but there can be too much attention in the wrong places, and it's really going to freak them out because they're really emotional about their art. Like, they put their emotions into their art and into their creativity. That's how they're doing it. So they know that if they are truly themselves in front of another person and that person doesn't accept who they are, it'll crush them on like a really heavy pride level. So they don't even put themselves out there in the first place. So ultimately, yes, they want people to be paying attention to them. They want recognition and attention, but they're also terrified of really doing it super publicly for fear of kind of just like pride destruction and stuff like that. Because the worst thing that you can feel as a Leo moon is like guilt and shame and embarrassment and like you're not a good person and like you're just kind of a fuck up. Like you can get into some really negative spaces with that because you don't really realize how much your ego is tied into how you're feeling. So you need to feel confident. You need to feel good about your actions. And if you can accomplish that, here's a big secret. You'll be happy like all the fucking time. I'm not always the best at it, but I've been doing it a lot lately and just finding that really what I need to feel nurtured is to just feel good about myself. And then at that point, I'm at least in a pretty good mood and I can deal with whatever's going on. So learning to accept yourself no matter what's going on, because the thing is, someone with their Leo in Moon and Leo is kind of similar to a Pisces energy in a way. It kind of makes this weird combination in the sense that your personality is always just kind of shifting and changing. You're going to be constantly recreating your image and your brand and how you come off to people. And you're very protective of it. That's definitely the Cancerian part of it, is you're protective of your ego and your artistry. That's why I'm really a lot better at talking about astrology over the internet or doing distance healings or just kind of uploading music on SoundCloud and stuff like that. Like I'm creating a lot of art, and it is getting recognized in a way that I can handle and that I enjoy, but it's not like me standing in front of a physical audience of people. I have a feeling that might really freak me out. I'm not sure yet. I'm just kind of going with it. So emotionally, you're really dramatic. You have to know this about yourself by now, and people have told you that you're dramatic, I bet. The thing about it that other people don't understand, that they won't understand unless they have a fire moon, but even then, specifically this moon, is that you're not doing it on purpose. You aren't. It's not like some people where they feel something and then they exaggerate it for effect. Like, you feel something exaggerated in effect mostly constantly. So when you relate something, it sounds like you're being dramatic, and you are, but it comes internally first. You're not trying to be dramatic. The emotions that are going through your body are seriously so fucking all-encompassing and powerful and fantastic and horrible and gut-wrenching and real and like everything. You fucking feel everything all the time so strongly. And it can be hard for people to understand that. It can be hard for you to feel like you can be around people because you're just so much and you don't want to project that on people. You definitely can get really into your feelings sometimes, especially if your pride is hurt. You're gonna get really fucking mopey. You can like you're just gonna feel shitty about yourself, and you're just gonna be like totally shut down, like someone turned off a light switch, until you can figure out how to feel good about yourself again. And depending on what triggered that, it could take a while. And again, a lot of people don't really understand this. And they'll get kind of frustrated trying to pull you out of that space, but it's something that you need to do on your own, and you just need to recognize that you're amazing and find something to be proud of that day, or just be kind to yourself. Moon and Leo can just really beat itself up like nobody's business. There can be a lot of emotional turmoil just based off of your self-image. It's really important to you. You might spend a lot of time on your hair. Like, I'm fixing my hair this whole video. I'm staring at myself. I'm paying attention to how I'm coming off and how I'm being received. And it's really hard for you not to do all that. How you dress. If you have a Leo moon, you probably have a really specific sense of style. You're probably always changing it up and trying to be different. You want to stand out, but you want to fit in. So you kind of go somewhere in the middle on that. In love, I mean, Leo moons are super romantic. They're romantics at heart. They want to be in love with themselves and with the universe and with other people and with creation. Like, they have this very beautiful way of experiencing reality. When they're happy, when they're sad, they really feel like they don't know why they exist at all, and that they don't want to. At the most negative aspects of it, that can surely happen. I'm sure a lot of this I'm projecting from me. I am trying not to, but I can't help it because I have this moon placement, and I also am trying to tap into it since I know about it from a personal level, and these are personal videos, and I'm not researching any of this information. I literally get the topic and turn on the recorder. So I'm just intuiting everything. I don't have notes. I didn't look at this beforehand. That's kind of how I do astrology. But anyway, we're talking... See, I'm talking about myself, right? You're very self-centered. As a Leo moon, because your emotional balance comes from yourself, you kind of lean on yourself. You're your own friend, and you're your own emotional rock because you have to be at certain points because no one else can do it for you. And that's kind of a lot of where your strength and independence comes from, as an emotional independence and freedom that you can achieve through being a Leo. But you think about yourself a lot, and the way that you're perceiving everything and intaking the universe around you, it has a really huge emotional impact on you all the time. and you really experience your world like through your eyes, through your ego, and you're someone that completely recognizes that. So you're not selfish or self-centered in a negative sense, but you definitely pay attention to the focal point that is your consciousness, how it's expressing itself, how it's projecting itself, what that means in the world, how that makes you feel. It's interesting to you. You typically like yourself. Like I said, there might be times when this sign is challenged, or, you know, it might be aspected in your chart a different way. That's really important when you're doing a birth chart, is to see how things aspect. There's a lot that goes into it. There's aspects happening all the time. But that might give you a little bit more insight if you're a little bit confused on kind of a path to self-love and acceptance. Just as an example, like my Leo moon is in the 6th house. Sorry, I'm so stuffily. And it's the house of like work and career and stuff like that. So for me, I need to shine and be an artist at work, but I also really need to work independently and by myself, and not with like a lot of attention or micromanagement and stuff like that. Like, it drives me fucking crazy. And I have found that being my own boss is a way to kind of do that and love what I'm doing is really important, and being personally invested in the work that I'm doing makes me feel emotionally satisfied. Talking about myself even more. Fucking Leo moon. Yeah, I mean, I'm like low-key obsessed with myself, I guess. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, because like the only person that's going to be there at the end of the day for me is me. Like, every day I'm me. I flush against infinity experiencing myself. So I think that's really interesting. Maybe that's just my personality. I'm hopefully I'm channeling Leo moon. I hope this makes sense to people. You're also gonna feel really bad if you don't have a lot of friends. You can get really lonely. Leo likes to have followers. It likes to have admirers. It likes to have a kingdom and people that it can care about and nurture. Like, Leo moons are very generous people. They'll give you their whole domain and their whole kingdom and all their energy just for love. Like, they will do it out of the generosity of their heart. These people have really big heart chakras, and they have a lot of bravery and courage when it comes to dealing with emotional issues. And they're definitely people that can be supportive of you if you need to talk to somebody about it, because similar to Scorpio moons, they understand the intensity that it can bring into your body, and they're not afraid to deal with emotions. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I love this moon sign. I don't think it's always easy to be this moon sign, because it's a lot of pressure. You're constantly worried about what other people are thinking about you, and having to deal with your sense of self, and your emotions are just really intense and passionate all the time. And the intro-extroversion thing is a little bit confusing to work out. But overall, I kind of think fire moons are fun, so I don't know. If I got way too personal on this video, just let me know in the comments, and I'll try to make another video about this, just giving even more information that hopefully I'm not projecting onto it too much. If you liked it, then let me know. And if you have any other requests, let me know. Thanks.